All right, here we go. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Today's workout for time, a descending ladder of calorie row, 40, 30, 20, 10. After each row, you had an ascending ladder of shoulder to overhead, 10, 20, 30, 40. The weight was at 40% of your 1 rep max push press. And that put me at 95 for today's workout. Usually, my 1 rep max push press is about. Last time I tested it was at 225, but yeah, it's been a while. I believe I'm at 275 because my clean and jerk is 275. But it's been a while since I push pressed 275, so I went off a 225 percentage. Okay, so my goal for each round was just to stay consistent because I'm a heavy set dude and weighing in at, on a good day, 245. Usually I'm at 250, but going into the Thanksgiving holiday and leading up till now, a brother's been eating. So put on 25 pounds. Strength has gone up, but that conditioning has gone down. So I knew today that I really had to pace myself on this workout, because if I try to just floor it, right, that I'd be hurting by the time I got to the 30s of the shoulder to overhead. So right now, just looking at technique on the row, my heels are down, knees are forward. Okay, I've got a good extension of the hip, flat back. Okay, so, and then I've got a good return back to the row. So I've got that good flow. The arms are there, minor pause as we come back, but I've got a good flow coming right back to the rower. Okay, so you'll see a lot of folks that like to come all the way up and get their heels super high and end up pushing out of their toes. I'll come up maybe halfway that I can get a good drive out of my whole foot. I try to treat the row just like a deadlift as best as I can. Okay, so 40 cals, I believe it took me about 2.5, maybe 3.5 minutes. I don't remember, to tell you the truth. I was just in a rush to get to the barbell, because I knew that was my jam. All right, so we're done with the first 40 cals. We've got 10 shoulder to overhead. Okay. So this first 10 was kind of a little shock to the body. As you see, I'm not even driving through my whole foot. I'm rolling up to the toes. My knees weren't warmed up yet. Okay. So, I'm just raw strengthening it up right now. My techniques for this first 10 is not the best. So let's hope going into this second round, I do a little bit better. The strategy for round 2 was to break up the 20 shoulder to overhead into 2 sets of 10. But going into this next round on the rower, so we've got 30 cals on the row. And you can already see my posture, my form's a little bit different here on round 2. Whereas now I'm pushing through the whole foot, the heel's raising just a little bit, but my knees are coming out a little bit. So we want to keep those knees as forward as possible. Drive through the whole foot. Okay, and then when we get back to that return, I try to do my best to have that nice flow of pull and a slow return back. But as you see here, I'm tired now. So went a little too fast with those 10s. Okay, and now my arms are just pull and drop. And then pull and drop. So I should say push and drop, because I'm pushing with my feet and finishing with my arms. So never coach your athletes to pull on the rower. Always tell them to push, because it'll help them focus to push with their feet and then finish with their arms. Okay. Awesome. So starting to recover a little bit better here. Knees aren't where I fully want them, but they're making way for my little gut right there. So we'll have to live with that for now. Okay. Overall, I'd say this is a decent round on the rower. So, getting some up. You can see towards the end, I'm really starting to get tired now. So hands are really just dropping and plopping to the knees. At this point, I don't think I'm holding my 2 breaths. So I'm kind of just breathing when I can right now. So usually I try to breathe at the return and then at the top. And then 2 breaths per pull. So, because I usually just crank that pull. So I give myself a little bit of time so I can get a good pull. All right, set of 20. So goal is to break this into 10 and 10. So technique on this round looks a lot better. Our feet are a little bit wider. We're driving through. We're doing a little bit better. At least we're at midfoot, right? So hips are still muted. So I got to do a better job of dipping a little bit further down into my, getting a little further down into my dip, and then fully extending, getting a good jump out of the hole there, and not mute my hips there. So because this weight, it wasn't easy by any means, right? But I'm a stronger dude, so I tend to rely on my shoulders instead of relying on the bigger muscles that I have down below. So brothers working a little with the dump truck, might as well start using them, right? So start working on getting a deeper dip, driving through the whole foot, making that barbell as weightless as possible so my arms don't have to do a whole lot of work. All right, so now we're into round 3. We've got 20 cals on the rower, and then we should be at 30 cals on shoulder to overhead. Okay. So coming off that 20, I'm exhausted. So I'm doing my best to keep my form here on this row. But you can see already, if you look at my feet, you can see that I'm pulling myself back up to the return using my toes. My heels are coming up a little bit. Okay, my knees are out a little bit further. Okay, my arms they're trying to get a rest as soon as the pull is over, right? So, and you can see the big inhale, okay, and then there's a short inhale at the return. So, brother's a little winded here going into round 3, but doing my best to keep a good pace and hold the pace that I had on the row, so that I don't, totally redline today. Good. If anybody knows of any great breathing patterns to do on the rower, please send it my way. So right now I'm working on a one and a half breath, a big breath at the top, and a half breath at the return. All right. So into the set of 30. So goal here, set of 15. Let's get this shit over with, right? So trying to get a big set of 15 here. I knew this was going to be costly, but I wanted to get through the 30s. It was the halfway point, and I didn't want to get stuck here. Okay. So big set of 15 there. Okay. So another thing I got to learn here when resting, especially when you're doing a lot of shoulder work, is not to rest on your legs, not to be hunched over, resting in that position. Not because, I'm, restricting my airflow, but I'm supporting my weight on my shoulders when I'm hunched over and my arms are on my legs. So my shoulders felt gassed. It felt even worse just hunched over, leaning over, and having my arms right there on my knees. I had to stand back up and shake the arms out. And I was like, damn, I just made that even worse. Right? Good. But a little better set here. So things for me to work on is, again, driving through the whole foot. Okay. Got that set done. Okay. Now here's the the part here where we go into a short row, 10 calories. Okay, you're like, where'd my time on the row go? And then it's back on the bar for a big set of 40 to be done with the workout. So, and as you know, my knees are further out. Look at my heels right now. My heels are, I'm on my toes right now on the row. So my heels are flopping up nice and high. You can even see the depth that I'm going for the return, because I know I'm tired. I can't keep that same angle that I had before. So I'm scooting up a little further, trying to get as big a pull or big a push as I could get, but ended up not even helping me because I was pushing out of the toes the whole time. Okay? Knees are flared out, and I'm just on the struggle bus right now. So a couple breaths to recover. Last round on the barbell. Yeah, let's get after it. So yeah. Good. So some questionable reps on that one there. So moving a little faster than I should have. I tried to knock out as many as I could, but a couple questionable reps there if I stood all the way up to extension. So now you can see I've slowed down a bit. Now my technique's a little bit better, but I just got to work on those driving out of the whole foot. Driving out of the whole foot. There's no reason to drive to the toes. To drive out of the toes, because you're just sending all that force through the knees. Okay. Okay. Somewhere around here, I took like a longer break because my mind was like, dude, we need to finish this quickly, do a big set. So I'm not sure if it's this one or the next one, but I went 15 reps, and then my shoulders just quit. Yeah, so right there, I couldn't even hold on to my knees to get, it was like, stand up, dude, because when you lean over, touch your knees, it just makes your arms feel worse. All right, this must be it here, because I took a longer rest to get this big set in. So we've got a set of 15. I believe we got 20 reps left, so. Yeah, and we go into our machine gun press. All right, so I don't advise this for my athletes to do. So I recommend that they go a lot slower than what I just did there. That was just me being dumb and just wanting to get the workout over with. Again, those reps were kind of questionable if I had stood up to a full extension. Okay, so now here I'm tired now. So now it's forcing me to go in the right position. Okay, and that's time. So finished at 13:35. So good workout for today. I'll see you guys on the next one.